Welcome back one and all to my coverage of CES 2023, and today we're going to be looking at the newest direct competitor to bHaptics, the Skinetic vest. You guys know how much I love to use the bHaptics with the fact that I have the arms, the X40 vest, and the face piece. However, this is going to give bHaptics a run for its money based off of my testing with it thus far. So without further ado, let's get into it so we can learn as much as we can together.
No, you can put them back.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, but you have to let yourself be killed.
And after the Skinetic developers told me I had to kill myself in order to use the demo, I was able to try it out. The reason I use the words direct competitor is because this actually uses haptic motors in order to give you a vibrational feedback just like bHaptics does. However, the way they do it is actually a more effective method. Now, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, so I can't tell you exactly what makes this more accurate than bHaptics, but I can tell you the feedback was actually more accurate. And they somehow accomplish this with having less motors. Those of you that know, I use the X40 bHaptics vest like I said, and the 40 in the name stands for the 40 haptic vibrational points that are on the vest. And normally my first assumption would be that the feedback on bHaptics would be more accurate because it'd be covering a larger surface area. However, the feedback was actually more accurate on the Skinetic for most things. Now I say most things because whenever they're showing me examples of things like rain, fire, wind, etc., all the weather applications that were in there did feel a lot more accurate, but whenever I was getting shot by the turrets or the lasers, it didn't feel like it was packing as much of a punch as it should have. However, I will fully admit that could just be my own opinion with the fact that I've been using bHaptics for so long that I am more used to packing more of a punch whenever something happens to me. So because of this, my feeling overall with the vest is that it was accurate and that the points that I was supposed to get hit at were dispersed in a very accurate manner. So, you know, the rain that was hitting at me, I actually felt it hitting a bunch of individual points in my body, all in different intervals, and it felt very accurate. However, whenever I was getting shot by the turrets and things like that, it didn't feel like the intensity increased a lot. And I will say that is something that bHaptics does that I actually enjoy. That if I'm gliding in population 1, the wind will actually feel lighter versus if I'm getting shot. That, and of course, there is the very obvious issue of the fact that this is a new product. They really didn't have a lot of things to test over here. Really, there was only the demo and the fact that they let me watch a movie and I was able to feel the sound coming through on it. So while it did feel cool and way more accurate than bHaptics, I question how this would actually work in a lot of VR games that I normally play. Because of course their demo is going to show their vest in the best light, and I wasn't able to test it on anything outside of this demo and the movie that they let me watch a little bit of, but I will say with full certainty that this actually is more accurate than bHaptics with the demo that I was able to test thus far. And as far as the look goes, I will say I am a big fan of the front of the vest, but the back of the vest just seems very cluttered. You know, they've got the battery that's on the back of it, they've got the control panel up at the top of it, and as far as the compatibility goes, because the fact that they didn't have any games for me to test, I assume that they're not compatible with any games yet. However, based off the pictures on their website, I can only assume that they're planning to be compatible with standalone quests because they've got the Meta Quest here while the person's wearing the vest with no wires. And at the moment, the only pre-orders that are available are for the creator kits, aka the people that are going to be making these Skinetic compatible with their games. And while that runs at about 800 EUR, they did say repeatedly that they want to be a direct competitor for bHaptics. As I was comparing their product to bHaptics because I'm an avid bHaptics user, I can only assume and hope that the consumer version of the Skinetic vest is going to be cheaper, more affordable for the average VR user. But honestly, as long as they're able to make it compatible with more games, they're able to give it a competitive price point that would be lower than the X40 vest, but I don't think they need to be lower than the X16 vest. And if they could do something to clean up the back of the vest, maybe make it to where you can actually tuck the drawstrings in somewhere at the very least, and make a proper holder to where it doesn't look like it's a bunch of exposed wires with the battery pack that's on the back of it and the control panel at the top. Make it have something that's a little bit more ergonomical, just like the bHaptics vest has at the top. I can see no reason why this wouldn't be an amazing competitor for bHaptics and actually give some great competition in the VR marketplace. But with all that being said and done, I wish Skinetic the best of luck, and I hope to do some more in-depth testing whenever it becomes available and compatible with more VR games. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to be putting some videos here in the corners for any kind of recommended comedy or possibly any kind of other things I've tested at CES, because I was able to test out a lot of VR stuff. So I look forward to hearing your opinions in the comments on this one, and hope that you can check out some of the other stuff here on the channel. I hope this was able to help you out. I hope you have a phenomenal day, and I hope to see you next time.